It just wouldn't work. So I'm seeing something very important in chat here today. Chat. Lol Renee too used to be in the games industry, which I love. The weakest Toon Link is 16 and doesn't drink. That's okay, the weakest Toon Link. Someday you too will be 21, and then you can drink. What about 3 beers? Doom. Okay, all right. Let's think about this. We wanted to go back and look at our mind map. We want to look at what are the core mechanics. Like what's the screen look like? I want to think about the visual aesthetic because that's important. You were low tier office something, getting coffee for the big talks, but we all have to start somewhere. We do all have to start somewhere. Started out at the bottom and now we here. Yeah, it's true. And it's been an awesome journey. Some sort of time pressure. You have to finish a set before the ship reaches a planet. That's a great idea to throw out here. I like it. So, is there a time pressure? Is that one of the mechanics? Under pressure. Yeah. Yeah, how do you get information from the mental category? Maybe there are different mental diagnostics you can run. Run mental diagnostics. What kind of mental diagnostics? Mathematics, logic. Who knows? Do you have a set number of resources allowing a certain number of data inquiries per identity? Ooh, do minds have some sort of limiting factor? They can only be queried so many times. Come here, Kiska. Hey. Let's see. My mental diagnostic limits. That's going to go down here. Book. Do we have an overriding goal to solve a spaceship-related problem, which we need crew to solve? And in order to do that, we need to match crew minds to bodies and wake up the appropriate crew members. Specific problem to solve. I'll probably put a little more description there. Specific shipboard problem to solve. Cool. Maybe so. Maybe so. Did we just get a sub? Ryolit. Thank you. Shout out to you, Ryolit. Your name appears right here. Soon, maybe. I don't know. It should. It should say Ryolit instead of Icore IQ. That's what it should say. Good. If there are limits, will there be ways to increase that limit? Maybe by connecting minds into a web for bigger processing tasks? Wow. Who knows? So the quick TLDR of the game is that we are creating a game where you play as an AI who sorts the minds in their cloud storage into the bodies that are stored in their cryotanks. There a progressive buildup of needs. Flowing thought bubble. Let's see, information. Mental information. Mental info comes from a scrolling thought bubble, maybe. Comes from static data and mental tests. Mental info, physical info. How does that come? How do you get the physical information? So you've got biometrics, readouts. What else? Progressive buildup of needs. Yep. So, yeah, I'm thinking, and actually, interestingly, Tuxtradamus, many of the games that we've discussed tonight have triggered Papers, Pleasey thoughts in my mind. I think as an AI, you're going to have access to like informational readouts for the minds that you have available. You can sort of like maybe drag over a test and drop it onto the mind to run it, and maybe it takes a certain amount of time. I don't know. Matching person to body or finding best fit. You're matching the person to their body is the ideal. At least that's what we started out thinking as. But let's consider this idea, iCore IQ. Let's consider the idea where you're not literally matching the person's mind to the person's body, but that you've grown bodies in your tanks, and now you need to awaken some of them to serve as your, human servitors aboard this starship or whatever. And you're trying to choose which mind you have in your databanks that you want to put into which body you've grown. That sort of solves a couple of the like physical based assumptions that we were maybe like trying not to run into earlier, where like no longer are you deciding, do I put this female brain into a female body or a male body? Like now it's just we've grown bodies to order, and we're trying to choose the best body for the best minds. It's an interesting thought. Is there a definite failure state? I think for this game, for our first attempt, it's going to be a lot easier for us if there is no definite failure state. And it's really just about sorting and seeing what happens. My baby is right here. She's so sweet. Tests using up power. Oh, yeah. Hyrule Spy. I like this idea of like power as a limited resource. Evil Harry Dread, choosing the best body for the best mind. My god, this is a logistics game. Yeah, pretty much. Is there a progressive buildup of needs? Like, I think ideally in the long run we would have that, but probably not for our tiny game. Yeah, Slight Quill says there would need to be a random element in here for the sake of difficulty. That grown bodies would need to have randomized stats. All of the minds and all of the bodies that match them will be randomized to a certain extent. Yeah, so there's a little bit of side conversation going on with Cloud Killed Aerith and Jackalope Joe and her Magnus talking about how cool it sounds and like how it probably won't end up like this and things like that. It's interesting to watch the evolution of an idea, and it's kind of frustrating when you had a different view of that idea. Yes, so we are all seeing something now. Maybe some of us are seeing it for the first time. I have seen this for my entire career. This is not a tiny game. This is a big game. This is a cool game. This is an entire Papers, Please sized game. It's awesome. We're not going to make that game. And it's going to disappoint us, or some of us. Or some of you in the audience probably had different ideas that you wanted to see get adopted, but because I'm the one in the driver's seat, I adopted different ideas. And my brain got caught in different ways than your brain got caught, and now it's going in a different direction. And I know that can be frustrating. Oh boy, I know it. But that's okay. Because at the end, we're going to work on this until it's quote unquote done. And it may not even be good, unfortunately, but it'll be quote unquote done. And then we'll go on to something new, and then we'll make something different. And that's how we make games, constantly. General Mittens. General Mittens, the straw poll was won by the AI that's sorting brains into bodies. Okay, we've got a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff. I like a lot of what we've got. I wonder if, so I feel like maybe here's what I can do. Let's see. I'm gonna grab here. Icar IQ. It's unfair. Riolet. It's unfair that Icar IQ is still up there because it is you on the overlay page. You are the one who's there. I just want you to know that I remember you. Okay, so I'm gonna open up some Paint program. Paint. Yeah. Zonalar is asking, I am concerned about the visual representation of this game. Will we even be able to move around? Will it be more point and click? Icor LQ will thank me to pronounce it as LQ. You got it. What am I looking at? Oh man, my mouse just completely disappears on this paint overlay. Okay, so here we are. Here's what I think the screen could look like. I'm gonna take a square, I'm gonna fill it with a solid color, I'm gonna be like, oh god, that's the worst. Yes. I'm gonna fill it with black. I make a whole square and I make it be all black. And then what? We've got, nope, that's not what I want to do because I'm editing the square. Okay. And then we've got what? We've got some pods and they're over here. Loop. Could I have copied and pasted that? I wonder. Yeah, copy, paste, no, paste, no. All right, now I'm going to select. Paint is the worst program ever. Copy, paste. Okay. We got a couple pods. And maybe they've got like some sort of entity inside of them. Like, I'm just going to like drag that down so you can just barely see it. I'll have, it's too bright. Down. Okay. So there's something in the pods. Yes. Now you see where my mind is going. Mahahaha. Jigsy is asking, what if you want to make a game but you aren't good at art? Oh, buddy, you are gonna see what that looks like. Because I am not good at art. Yeah, okay, so we got some pods, and they've got some weird shapes inside of them. And then over here, yes, on the other side of the screen, we'll have data banks that contain minds. Okay, so we got some data banks. Harley the Kind is asking, so viewers can help in art and design department as well, right? Maybe. Like, the challenge here... Yeah, make a game with bad art is what you do, says Hold the Pickle 629. And Hold the Pickle 629 is right. That is what you do. You make a game with bad art. Yes. Viewers can help in the art and design department as well, right? So the thing about art is that art needs to be made to certain specifications to fit within the game that you're making. So if I were to accept community submissions for sprites to use, I would do that, but I would say, okay, chat, community, I need a sprite of the AI brain bank, and it needs to be 300 pixels by 230 pixels. Make me an AI brain bank sprite. And that's what's going to be here. We've got an AI brain. I'm making a brain, can't you tell? Oop. I don't know what's going on there. That looks more like not a brain. Yeah, excellent. That's a brain. An AI brain. Okay, so over here we've got these are mind banks. Over here. And these are body pods. And then we're gonna need like some sort of like when you click on a mind bank, maybe it moves into the center and sort of takes up the screen, and then you've got like a test sort of array, a panoply of tests that you can run. Maybe you've got physical things down here where it's like, you know, test logic, test math, test emotion. And then you've got physical tests. How interesting. Isn't that an idea? It is an idea. Physical tests. Physical tests, mental tests. I should probably not have them in that arrangement, should I? Probably it will need to do something like this. Hyrule Spy envisioned something like what? Hermagnus envisioned something like Hyrule Spy said. Not sure if this will be done, but could the AI start as something like GLaDOS to something like... Starts as something like GLaDOS and Portal, cool, calculating, cold, to something like Catherine from Soma in terms of being more humane? Would that add anything to the player experience? So you are the AI. So that's hard. There's no spoilers there, incidentally. No spoilers were just given. Here's what we need to do. Mental tests will be here, and physical tests will be here. Okay. And that needs to be white with the primary color. Cool. And then body tests. Cool. Suprap is saying, I think I'm too stupid to understand what Steven is doing right now. And Suprap, I am drawing a very, very simplistic rendition of what the screen could look like when you're playing the game. So over here, you've got a set of mind banks. and you can click on one to expand it and see information about the mind. Over here you've got body pods, and you can click on one to expand it and see information about the body. And then you're the mind, you're the AI brain in the center, and you have like a series of mental cognition machines that you're hooked up to, and a series of physical test machines that you're hooked up to. So you open a mind and you click on one of the mental cognition machines to test it. Or you can click on a body and then click one of the physical machines to test it, and that gives you more information about what mind to sort into which body. Do we need more than this? What do you guys think? What do y'all think? Is this enough? I think there's enough here to get a very simple game out, where we generate minds that have certain attributes. We generate bodies and make sure that those bodies have those attributes. This game is lacking cats. What language is this program going to be written in, and will this game be open sourced on something like GitHub? Maybe not even available to do pull requests, but just to see the code online would be a helpful learning experience. Silverbrit, I don't know about GitHub because I've never used it before. Maybe, but I think that it's going to be in a Dropbox that anybody can download, or maybe just itch.io. Orath was super skeptical, but now they are not. Power. Power display can be down here. Boop. Oops. Good. Boop. And then power can be like this. Like, yeah, okay, great, perfect. Excellent. Let's zoom in, make this UI really pop. Want it to match up. This is why designing UIs takes forever for me. Power. You can't go on water if you don't have power. Okay. Good. Huh. Mr. Jinping Yu would really recommend GitHub so we can see what changes from one week to another. I'll have to look into it. Layout idea, a bit more work, 3 crew members. You click through basic renditions of surveillance cams for the crew quarter. You get some visual cues. That sounds a bit more complicated than we're currently working with, Keep Trucking, but thank you for the suggestion. The AI is trying to build these people to fulfill a task on the ship. On a flavor note, perhaps the AI was activated because the ship was damaged in transit or something. Yeah, so... Superapp says, man, Steven's the kind of guy that just like, yeah, I'm going to mess around with some game design stuff because games industry, and then goes on to make like a robot or something. Haha! I don't know. We'll see. I just like to throw myself into things and then see how far we get. Jigsy is asking, if I wanted to make a game, how can I be certain the idea hasn't been used before? There are so many games on so many platforms. Surely it could be hard to know if it's been done. It doesn't matter if it's been done. Just do it. Because at this point, for someone like yourself, and even me, if we're making games on our own time here, like this, we're not making games that are going to become huge commercial successes. We're not worried about getting called copycats. Because really, we're just making games, 1, because we love it, and 2, because we want to learn how to make games better. Also, remember that there are no original ideas, only original implementations. So don't worry about whether someone or not had the same idea, or even if they implemented it better. Just Just go. Make things. Make things. Some form of instructions so a player knows what to do. We understand the setup because we've come across the idea. Someone new to seeing this screen might be confused with what to do. Yeah, Stephanie, we need some information about... I mean, we need like a quick tutorial screen, and we need a menu screen, and we need some stuff like that. So we're gonna look at that. Actually, let's. I'm gonna save this real quick. Save it as, let's see, My Documents, new folder, Twitch Makes Games. So this is 01001 AI Mind Sorter. And this is our mind map. Ooh, I've got the hiccups from this wine. And then Silverbrit is sarcastically saying, I'm going to make a voxel-based game and call it Craftmine. And if you make a voxel-based game called Craftmine in the safety of your own basement and you find a great time doing it, then by all means, 100% go do that. You can learn so much about programming by doing exactly that. Absolutely. If you start trying to sell it, Microsoft is going to sue the pants off of you. And that's okay. So, you know, keep that in mind. So I've saved the mind map, and now I want to do a quick game flow screen, just so that we know we're going to make, like, you know, a main menu and a quit menu and a tutorial screen. So let's see here. Back over. Here we've got a new thing. So we start at the main menu. Main menu. Maybe what we do is we start with a Twitch Makes Games splash. We'll do like a splash screen where I thank the community and Twitch, and that'll flow into a main menu. The main menu will have a start, and it will have a quit. And that is it. I don't even think there's going to be a tutorial here. Quit exits the game, so we'll put that there. And then start goes into the game. So let's see here. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do that. This is the game. I'm going to do some other colors here. Let's see, gray and darker gray. Okay, now we're in the game. And when we start, first thing we're going to see is tutorial. Just like a little pop-up that says, hey, now you're in the game, and that's great. Oops. Come on. Oh, it's freaking out. Yes. Yep, so there. Wow, I put so many lines there. 4. So start goes to tutorial. It just says, here's what you need to do. And then we go straight into the game flow. Main screen. So on the main screen, you can click a mind. It comes to mind. You can click a mind or you can click a body. And these will open up additional panels. Yep. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Great. And a body. And the mind panel will show mind info. And the body panel will show body info. Okay, here's the flow of our game. And then if you hit escape, then we should bring up a pause menu. So that brings up a pause menu, which has continue and quit. Whoa. Whoops. I don't know what that was. Continue. And of course, continue just goes back to the main screen, which is great. Yep. Oops. Great. Continue and quit. Boop. Boop. Great. And quit comes out here. Comes up here, exits the game. That's our game flow. So the mental and physical testing, they're not going to bring up new panels, I don't think. I think we could just click on the mathematics engine and then have it run a test, and maybe like have a little timer that's counting down that's saying like, okay, mathematics test running, a logic test running, something like that. Oh, should quit to main menu or desktop? Let's have quit to main menu. So boop, good thought. Good thought. To main menu. Perfect. Will we get to see the details? Yes, if you click on a mind, you'll get to see mind details. If you click on a body, you'll get to see body info, body details. Tutorial/intro. Because maybe it's not just a like tutorial, like a panel that's just like, here's what you need to do. Maybe it's like some sort of setting themed, whoop, whoop, everything's going wrong. You need to wake up some people to help you out. And then things actually get started. Can fans send audio files saying beep boop and beep boop boop for me to implement and use during testing sequences? Maybe so. But the matching isn't included, or is it a part of the info section? Right, matching. We've forgotten the core mechanic. Classic. Okay, so we've got main screen where you can click on mind, body, or yes. Okay. Good. So you also need to be able to click on, you need to be able to dump. So dump. Dump mind. So dumping mind flushes a mind into a body. So you select a mind, you select a body. Plop. Okay. I feel like that's a pretty good flow for us. Am I missing anything else? Well, y'all tell me if I'm missing anything else. I'm going to start up a Google Doc that has our design doc for this game. So, let's see, new. Okay. New Google Doc. AI Mind Matcher is the name. Here we go. An FOV slider, Captain Dartshot. What program am I using for games development? Right now, all I'm using is Google Docs and a program called YEd. This is just a flowchart creator. Once we get into the making of the actual game itself, Then I think we're going to start, and I'm not sure, I think we're going to do Unity because I think it can be doable in Unity. We're going to start with just some super, super basic stuff. Yeah. We do need an end state. An end state, so like, you mean like a victory screen? End results are screen. Yeah, score screen. Rebinding controls. It's just going to be clicking. It's going to be left click. Controls are an advanced functionality. So let's see. We'll add a victory screen. Victory screen, so the main screen can go to the victory screen if you are victorious, or it can go to the fail screen if you are not. What is going on? There we go. Boop, 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 boop. Yes. And then those two both loop back around to the main menu. So, these terrible lines. The player knows what kind of mind and body to combine by looking at the details of the mind and the details of the body, and then figuring it out. So Zonalar is asking, excellently, can you put your game design glasses on and explain why a flowchart is important just for, you know, the noobs like me watching here? Yes, Zonalar, I can. So this is just, it's a way for us to understand all of the parts of the game that we need in order for it to feel like a complete, fully wrapped game. And if we don't do this, we're going to get 80% of the way through making it, and then we're going to be like, wait a minute, we don't have a victory screen. Wait a minute, we don't have a failure screen, or whatever. And like for me, doing this for y'all, it maybe is not super important, but when you're working on a project that has a time frame, and you're trying to make sure you get all of the game done within the time that you have to make game, you want to make sure that you know everything that you need to do ahead of time so that you can plan it. So this is a little bit redundant for us here, but I'm doing it because I want to make sure that the game that we make is wrapped nicely, and also I'm doing it to show you all how to think about these things and how to say, like, okay, wait a minute, do we need an options menu? Do we need to rebind keys? It's good to think about these things. Being detail-oriented like that is important for being able to make a product that feels finished. Alex6141 is asking, what sort of coding would you recommend learning for game design? Any sort of coding will help you. If you really want to learn a coding that will immediately be helpful in game design, then pick up Unity and start learning C#. Totally. Okay. I like this. Am I missing anything else? I don't think so. I think y'all called out most of the things that we were missing. Rebinding controls. Make sure it works on Linux. Haha. An end state. That was what we just added. Dumping the brain into the body. Yes. Victory loss screen. That was the big thing that y'all pointed out. So, okay, great. Let's save it. This is 001 AI mind sorter flow. Game flow. This is called a game flow. And actually I need to make a folder for those and not have them all stored together. Where did I put it? Who knows? Folder structures. Documents, Twitch makes games. New folder 001 AI mind sorter. Cool, great. Um, okay, so, yeah. I'm gonna pull this up, I'm gonna pull that up. We'll switch back over. Okay, and we've got about 6 minutes left for our stream here today. So let's see. Heading 1, AI Mind Matcher. You play an AI matching minds stored in your cloud banks with bodies stored in your cryo chamber. Consult details of the minds and bodies and try to match them. Run mental diagnostics and what is it called? Biofeedback tests to gather more information when it's missing. Conserve your power, but match all minds to bodies within the time limit to win. So that's a pretty good summary of our game, right? So, engine, game engine. Unity 3D in 2D mode with a smiley. Let's see, I'll just do that. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna download Unity 3D. I already have it. If you don't, and we're gonna code in C#. So that's gonna be fun. So if you don't have it, then you should consider grabbing it. The address is unity3d.com. It's free. You can get it for free. Yeah, Stephanie, a screen for what happens if you run out of power or time. We've got a fail screen down here. It was added late. Will I be making this doc viewable to us? Yes. Yes, I will. Let's see, share. I'm going to shareable link, and anyone with the link can view. Wow. Someone is asking, isn't it more useful for a game creator to learn C++ since that is more broadly used when programming? It really depends. If you're looking to become a coder, C++ is something that you will need to know. But Unity doesn't use C++. Unity uses C#. If you are not looking to become a coder, then and you want to be a designer, you want to be an artist, you want to be a tech artist, then learning programming of any sort is still going to be really valuable to you. It's going to be very strong for you to know how to code and how to make your own little demonstrations of things. That's going to be really great. But you don't need to know C++ coding specifically. You can learn Lua, you can learn C#, you can learn Java, you can learn just about anything. Cross Staves just pointed out a lot of the high-level work on a game is just scripting, quote unquote, which is like really high-level programming. And you can even do that like in the Unreal Engine's blueprints. Their blueprints are a form of visual scripting that is very powerful, and it can help you get your mind around logic and how to make a game work the way you want it to. Oh my god. Messages. Mr. Zonalar. We've got a lot of animal icons. 26 total viewers. Y'all are great. Fortran is what you need. Here is unity3d.com. Lara Croft Go, made in Unity 3D. Cities Skylines, made in Unity. Unity is it's a serious game engine nowadays. Scripting is programming too, technically, Captain Cockfist. You're absolutely right. So, friends and followers, thank you very much for joining tonight for the second Twitch Makes Games. We did some good stuff. I know that we're not yet working in the game engine. We're going to start that next week. But we got a lot of really good planning out of the way. And I hope that you all feel like I'm involving you in the process of choosing what game to make and figuring out what kind of features it's going to have. I really want to make sure this is a community-driven effort. I want to make sure this isn't my game, it's our game. I just so happen to be the one making it come to life. Unless you decide you want to contribute art, for example. I will definitely put out requests for art when we get to that point. I'll give you specifications for how, like the format that I need it in so that I can implement it into the game. So keep your eyes peeled if you want to contribute art to this. And we will make this happen together. I think that we can, I think it's going to take us 8 sessions, 8 weeks. To get this game to the state that I'm proposing in the flow, the game flow document, which means that it's going to take us 16 weeks, aka 4 months. So we'll see. We'll see which one of those is right. 8 weeks, 16 weeks. Who knows? I'm gonna put that here. So game engine time estimate original 8 weeks with buffer 16 weeks. Let's see how we make it. So start date 10/20/2015. I think it'll be fun to track this. All right, y'all. We're basically out of time here. I'll field the last couple questions if any of you have specific questions you want to ask me. If you were wondering what we're doing, this is an initiative that I've started called Twitch Makes Games, where I make a game on stream, a tiny, tiny little game that has about 1 to 3 minutes of actual gameplay in it, and I do so by inviting suggestions from chat, and I build the game based on those. And the suggestion that we chose today was that you are an artificial intelligence on board a space station, you have the minds of your crew stored in your cloud, and you are like downloading them back into their bodies to wake them up, and you have to match the right mind with the right body. And that's a really cool idea. I want to give a shout out to the person who thought of that idea. That person was Jackalope Joe on Reddit, and also in Twitch chat. Jackalope Joe. So huge shout out to you, Jackalope Joe. Really great contribution to the first Twitch Makes Games. ICarLQ, what's the schedule for this show? Once a week at this time. Yes, you can in fact look down at the very bottom of the screen, down below, where I have my schedule. You'll see that every Tuesday from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Twitch Makes Games. And it's okay, there's no stupid questions. And if you were wondering, probably other people in the audience were wondering as well. So now that I have that useful segue, I will point out to you all of the things. You can follow me at, let me get this right, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at Silent Osiris. The O is a 0. Following me on Twitter is the best and easiest way to guarantee that you're up to date on when I'm going to be streaming next, but I do have a stream schedule located down below. It's every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, as well as usually some regular roleplay games on ItMeJP's channel on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And also when I tweet about when the show is going live, I include a Cronus link so that you can see a countdown to when that show is live in your time zone. So it's very convenient. I will look up putting the source on GitHub. Let me make sure I make a note of myself, of that for myself. Notes. check into putting source on GitHub, distribute on itch.io, question mark? Cool. And these games, they will probably be available as pay what you want, I think. It would be cool to sell them online a little bit, but they're going to be tiny, and I feel like I'm still thinking about donations. I'll point out to you now that there is in fact a subscription button down below where you can subscribe, and ideally your name should appear up there. It's not working yet. I'll try to figure that out too. Shout out to all of those like Grins Pills who have followed me today. I really do appreciate all of you. And anybody in chat, whether you're lurking, just watching, just stumbled upon this just now, have been with me from the beginning, thank you for coming out. Thank you for making Twitch Makes Games awesome. I was going to talk a little bit about donations, which I don't have set up because I don't think I really want to get donations. It feels a little too... It feels like a little too greedy. MCDG2, shout out to you. But if we have a pay what you want for the Twitch Makes Games games, and then we could like bundle them together or stuff, like that could be a cool way to help make sure that we keep this going, and support the work that we're all doing. And maybe there's, yeah, I'll keep pondering that idea. Thank you all. I had a great time this evening. I hope you did too. And I will see you tomorrow night for Swan Song at 8 p.m. Thursday night for some preparation for the solemn version of the West Marches. We have Jeff, Neil, Jen, and Ryan playing this Saturday, which will be the next time you'll see me, Saturday at 3 p.m. my time, all times in Eastern Daylight Time. And then you'll see me Sunday morning where we'll play another episode of 80 Days so that we can dig into that game a little deeper. All right. Have a good evening, everybody.